Hi, this is Nayona Banerjee, founder of the Power in Progress podcast. I am an entrepreneur who helps future leaders overcome the anxiety and fear of failure and stand in their own power by owning a personal brand. This whole business and this whole podcast has been started with only one aim, and that is to help the change makers of tomorrow to not delve into anxiety and depression of today and lose the great opportunity. I imagine a world where all the people who are action takers who want to make a difference in this world actually make a change just like other world leaders so that anxiety or depression or fear of failure is not something which is stopping them from achieving their true desires. And with this, welcome to my first podcast episode. In this episode, I would want to speak about anxiety attacks and how a habit of anxiety attack is something which leads to depression. So, and this comes from a very personal reason, a very personal story is when I was around 23, 24, 25 years of age. One fine day, something really miserable happened, and I was really sad and very moved emotionally. That led to my first panic attack where I was not being able to cope up as to how do I feel, how do I react, I was all alone. I was living in a completely different city from my family and I didn't know what to do. There was no one else coming for help and I didn't know how to respond to that situation. And I did have my partner. But when this happened, the kind of help and the response and the emotional support I got from there made me feel significant. I was like, oh, great. I mean, yes, I'm sad. Before this, I was not getting the attention which I desired. And when the panic attack happened, or when the anxiety happened, the kind of support, the kind of love, the kind of feelings which were given to me, the kind of importance which were given to me actually felt good. I finally had the support which I have been looking for while staying away from my parents. But when the same thing I told to my parents, the how Indian parents are, they also very nicely supported me. It's like I was called back home, taken extra care, and really given the love which you do receive, but it doesn't come out that oftenly. And we all want to be significant, right? Like we want to matter in this world. There's a reason we exist. There's a reason we strive for a career and earn money just because we want to feel significant in this world and around people. So when that happened, I felt so good that when another situation happened of a similar situation, a similar action, my response was exactly the same. And then I again got a similar help from my partner, from my family members. The third time it happened, I again got the emotional support which I desired. And that is when eventually at the age of 25, I fell into depression because when I was 25, I always looked for support from people. But when I stopped getting that kind of an attention from other people or from other partners, I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know how to react. I didn't know how to take control of myself. I had lost control completely on my emotions just because I didn't know how to react. I didn't know how to handle it. This is a psychological concept uh, called positive reinforcement. So, what happens is when we receive attention for anxiety attacks, it can reinforce the behavior, turning it into a habit. This usually happens because attention can serve as a form of validation or support, which may unintentionally reward the anxious response. Over time, what happens is our brain associates anxiety with receiving comfort, care, or attention from others, strengthening the cycle again. In this case, the comfort or attention given during an anxiety attack can reinforce the behavior, making future anxiety attacks more likely. because the brain has learned that anxiety leads to a reward or attention. And in this whole process, you lose control, and that is when you have depression. So, any of you who are suffering through depression, if you're listening to this podcast, tell me about it. Like, has this happened with you? Because out of 10 people I have spoken to, around 9 people can resonate with that, what how one thing led to the other, and after a while they completely how lost control over their emotion. They didn't know how to respond anymore. Coming out of this whole situation is just one method. It is just changing the lens you see yourself. What I mean is changing the lens is whenever we are sad, we look to other people, that you know what, like, please come and support me, please come and help me. By changing the perspective of how you react or how you see yourself, you can really change and get and regain the control of your own emotions. And that can be done over time with with a list of affirmations. A few of them can be: I am powerful, I am independent, I thrive in my own ability, I'm I'm in complete control of my emotions. Over time, if you keep repeating these affirmations, your subconscious mind, which was trained to just look for other people, automatically resets itself and starts believing that there's nobody else coming in support of you and you are the only one. And eventually and over time, you learn how to manage these emotions. And that is when people say that, "Oh, I have come out of my anxiety, I have come out of a depression," this is what they mean. They learn to take control of their emotions independently, and that is where entire difference lies. So people, if you also resonate with this, and if you are also someone who feels that you just keep on looking for the people, looking for comfort, stop doing that, because there is nobody else coming to save you. And if you want to have your own success story, there it is lonely at the top. It is completely lonely. There is nobody else who's going to support you in your decisions, in your emotions, in your sadness, in your happiness. Happiness is solely yours, sadness is solely yours, a failure is solely yours. Until unless you yourself don't know how to manage your emotions, you won't be able to succeed. So people, find your own affirmations, and if you want, just drop me a DM over Instagram. I'll help you build them. And yes, let's regain control of our own life, because a beautiful life remains ahead of us, which is waiting for us to thrive. And thriving starts from taking complete control of your own life. Thank you.